Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion Briefing for Wednesday, January 17th, 2018. The past 14 days have shown some precipitation moving in to Idaho and western Wyoming, as well as across the southern tip of the Great Basin. We had a good little series of storms last week move in and bring some pretty heavy precip to the southern Great Basin, along with some moderate precip across the north. Snowfall amounts are still definitely below normal for the time of year across much of the Great Basin, however. The last 72 hours have shown some snowfall over portions of western Idaho and that northeast tip of Nevada. Current snow depth amounts are shown here on the right, with a pretty good snowpack in place across central Idaho and western Wyoming. And the snowpack is definitely below normal for much of Nevada and Utah. A quick look at our temperature anomalies so far going into the 2018 year shows temperatures much above normal for the past 2 weeks across the entire Great Basin, with some areas in Nevada showing over 12 to 15 degrees above normal for the time of year. This morning's satellite imagery shows an area of high pressure remaining in place over much of the Great Basin. However, we are looking at a change in the weather coming this weekend, or later this week and into the weekend, as an area of low pressure drops into the Pacific Northwest and will move throughout the Great Basin, starting on late Thursday into Friday. For today, however, we're still looking at warm temperatures and generally sunny skies with pretty poor ventilation rates. This is due to the low transport winds in place over much of the Great Basin. However, we are seeing some higher winds move into the northwest portions of the area and low mixing heights region-wide. By Thursday, we'll start to see some of that moisture move into the far northern and western portions of the area, although temperatures will still kind of be on the warm side with those prefrontal southerly winds. Ventilation rates remain low for much of Idaho and Utah, although we'll see some of those values increasing over Nevada on Thursday. Transport winds pick up on Thursday over mainly Nevada ahead of that Pacific low. And mixing heights remain fairly low for much of the Great Basin, again, except over western Nevada, where we'll start to see some of those influences of that area of low pressure moving in. By Friday, the main core of the low will swing through the Great Basin, dropping temperatures region-wide and bringing precipitation to much of the geographic area. High elevation snow and even lower elevation snow is expected for many areas across the geographic area, as we are still in January looking for a winter storm to move through the region. Ventilation rates will certainly increase on Friday as this low moves through. Transport winds will be highest over Utah on Friday, with mixing heights increasing across much of the region. The clearing index for the state of Utah is shown here with pretty poor values on Wednesday and Thursday, but Friday looks to be a good day for clearing indices as we mix out that air associated with that low pressure system. 3-day precipitation accumulations are shown here. Looking for this precip to be moving in Thursday through Friday on this slide. This image only goes through Saturday morning, but the main areas of precipitation will be the central Idaho mountains and then a band moving through eastern Nevada and into western Utah. Some of those snow showers will linger on Saturday, particularly over eastern portions of the Great Basin, and ventilation rates will be pretty good on Saturday. On Sunday, a little bit of moisture continues to remain in the flow, especially across the north and west, with ventilation rates remaining pretty good across the central portions of the Great Basin and decreasing across the north and south. More of the same is expected on Monday, with that cooler westerly to northwesterly flow remaining in place. Could see some scattered snow showers around the area. And Tuesday looks to be a little bit more the same, although we'll start to see maybe some warming in our temperatures. Ventilation rates remain a little bit higher over Utah, with decreasing values over Nevada and Idaho. Precipitation accumulations for days 4 and 5 are shown here, with some of that moisture continuing to move into Utah and Idaho in that Saturday through Monday timeframe. The extended outlook from the Climate Prediction Center going into the third week of January is calling for below normal temperatures and above normal precipitation for much of the northern 2/3 of the Great Basin. Looks like they're expecting us to continue to be in this more progressive winter-like pattern, which is definitely a change from the pattern we've seen over the past few weeks. So looking forward to this change. This concludes today's smoke dispersion briefing. Please check back on Friday for the latest updates.